What is up, everyone? Today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A. As always, I'm your host, Paul J Lipsky. So I've made hundreds of videos here on this channel all about different ways to make money online, really focusing mostly on drop shipping on different marketplaces like eBay and Facebook Marketplace. So if you want really in-depth videos, step-by-step into how to do that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If at any point during this video you get any value from it, if I answer your question, make sure to give this video a like, give it a thumbs up right down below. As usual, down in the description of this video are a bunch of resources for you to check out, links to my courses, links to all the software I talk about. But let's not waste any more time. I'm going to go ahead and go into the live chat and answer any questions that you guys have. So this is a time for me to just jump into the chat for you to ask any questions you have about drop shipping or different ways to make money online. And I do my best to answer those questions for you live right here every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So let's see what's going on here. All right. Tyler says, how have results been for Facebook dropshipping? It seems like sales are down for everyone and want to hear your perspective on what to expect this year. So the interesting thing about Facebook dropshipping or Facebook Marketplace dropshipping is that about 2 years ago when I started, it was very, very strong. And what we saw about a year ago was that we started using Facebook Shops, which is very similar to Marketplace. But when you use Shops, it just kind of took things to the next level. It was easier to automate it, easier to use it with software. So when we jumped over to Shops, we saw huge increases in sales doing it that way. Now Shops has kind of slowed down or cooled down quite a bit. And now regular Facebook Marketplace is in fact stronger than Shops. So I don't know why they're kind of doing this dance and going back and forth. I'm okay with it because I have both Shops and Facebook Marketplace, and that's kind of what I recommend for people to have both of those going at the same time. That way, as one goes down, the other one goes up. You can kind of still have a balance overall with everything. I think what we're seeing overall in the markets is that there's just been a cooling off in general. Last year, early last year, the year before that, were incredibly strong years for the economy and for e-commerce, for spending in general, consumer spending in general. We saw a lot of money being made by people and a lot of money being spent by people as well, by consumers. So those were very, very strong years, about 2.5 years of that. Late last year, it started to cool off, and we're kind of in that period still right now. People aren't quite sure what they want to be doing with their money, if they should be saving it, not being so frivolous with their spending. We're definitely seeing that a bit, but there'll come a sense of normalcy, I believe, this year, where people will, I suddenly saw a squirrel jump, distracted me for a second, and we'll see a sense of normalcy kind of settle in and kind of like a new norm going on. And it kind of will go back to the way things were kind of before the pandemic, right? Where things were good. And then, another opportunity like this will come around eventually, right? You just have to be ready for it. And by that, I mean like the pandemic and all the boom and boost that it had to e-commerce and drop shipping. Something like that will happen again. I'm sure of it, but you have to be ready for it. You have to actually have a store up and running for when that event happens. Because all of us that had our accounts up and running, were already drop shipping, had everything set up. When that time came, we were ready for it, and we did really well because of that. And so that can happen again. We just have to wait it out. And I think in general, that time period really showed us the potential of e-commerce and drop shipping, how much further things have to go, right? So much money is being spent online on these websites like Facebook Marketplace, like eBay, like Amazon. So much money is already being spent in those places. But it's nowhere near how much is being spent overall on commerce, not just e-commerce. And as we've seen over the past decade, there's been a slow shift from regular commerce to e-commerce. And I think that's going to continue to grow and to accelerate. So the pandemic, that period kind of gave us a taste of that, where things are going. And we can see that once this grows even more, which I think is inevitable, you're going to see so much more money being spent online. It's going to be normal, what we saw last year and the year before. That's going to be the new normal, but you have to be ready for it. You have to get in now while the opportunity is here for new people. Get your store up and running so that when that time comes, slow and steadily, you'll have the opportunity to make a lot of money with it. Should I open a new account just for Facebook Marketplace dropshipping? Is it more beneficial? So that's not what you want to do. When you're dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace, you're just going to be using your Facebook account. So you don't have, there's not like a separate website for Facebook Marketplace. It's built into Facebook. So anyone with a Facebook account, Facebook profile, already has access to Facebook Marketplace. You can just go to that section of Facebook, add an item up for sale, or buy an item right in Marketplace. You don't have to sign up for anything different or a different website. The problem is that if you set up a new Facebook account, first of all, you're only allowed one Facebook account per person. So you're technically going to be violating that rule. And I'm not sure, I haven't heard of anyone getting their profiles shut down for breaking that rule, but it's always possible. So I prefer to stick to the rules when possible and when it makes sense to do it. So I see that as a problem. And the other problem is that new accounts on Facebook, you're not going to be able to sell on Facebook Marketplace the way you need to for Facebook dropshipping, because new accounts don't have the shipping option enabled on Facebook Marketplace most of the time. Older accounts do. So you should use your older account. It will have the shipping option unlocked and ready to go for you. And then you'll be able to dropship on Facebook Marketplace. Some people are afraid to do that or hesitant about doing that because they don't want their family and friends to see that they are dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace. And I get that. That's totally a valid concern. So the cool thing, though, is that when you're listing items on Facebook Marketplace, you can actually toggle something on that says, hide from my friends and family. So you'll be creating this listing that they can't even find or see. And I always do that. I recommend that you do that. Sickle says, thanks very much for your training. How many listings for sale should one have to start using AutoDS on eBay and Facebook Marketplace combined? Thanks. So, there's no reason to think of them as combined. You should just think of them as separate. So how many listings should you have on eBay and how many listings should you have on Facebook Marketplace? Don't worry about how many you have overall. Worry about how many you have on each marketplace. Because when you're a beginner, you don't want to scale up too quickly. Okay? You don't want to come out the gate and start listing up a ton of items into any marketplace. That is a really risky way to get started, and it will increase the chances that they're going to temporarily suspend your account and ask for further verification information from you, further identifying information from you. That's just going to slow you down. So don't do it. Start on the marketplace and go nice and slowly, a few products every day. That's how I would start. All right, we have Kared here. What's up? Says, I'm about to purchase your eBay dropshipping course. Can I use the same email and password I have for your Facebook Marketplace course? Excuse me. Or should I use a different password? No, you want to use the same information because so my website, dropshippingtitans.com, it has multiple courses in there, primarily the eBay course and the Facebook course and some other additional courses as well that are kind of like bonuses and add-ons. But you only have to log in with the one email and password, and then from inside your account, you can see all the courses that you're enrolled in. In this case, for you, it would be the eBay course and the Facebook course. So if you have separate emails and passwords, you're just going to have to log in to switch courses, or you're going to have to log out and log in with the correct one. So just use the same email and password for that. Steven says, what is the ideal percentage for eBay promoted listings to make a good profit while maximizing promotion? Great question. So promoted listings on eBay are an easy way to boost your listings, basically what it does is you can choose to have eBay actually rank your listings higher in the search results based on how much you're going to pay them extra. So the way it works is, let's say you say 1%, then when the item sells, eBay not only takes their regular cut, but an additional 1% for that promoted listing cost of it. So what is an ideal percentage? I would start at 1%, Stephen. Do 1% for all of your listings. And if it works, then raise it to 2%. If that works, raise it to 3%. Keep doing the math on that to see how much profit you're actually making. And then once you get to a point where it's not, let me back up for a second. You want to raise your price. You want to do a 1% promoted listing, but also raise your prices by 1% to cover that. If it works and gets you more sales, then raise it to 2%, again, raising the price, and continue to do that until you actually aren't making more sales because you've made your product too expensive. And then just go back down to like the optimal point, if that makes sense. And I suggest you do it that way because everyone's account is different. Some people, they're really good at product research and title optimization. So their listings are going to show up organically high in the search results. So they don't really need promoted listings. Promoted listings will actually hurt them. But if you're not at that level yet, then promoted listings can help. So you have to experiment for yourself in your own account to really see what's working for you. Yes, auto ordering with AutoDS, they have Walmart implemented. So for most people, when they're starting out drop shipping and you're drop shipping, let's say Walmart to eBay, Amazon to eBay, something like that, anytime you sell an item on eBay, it will be your responsibility to then go onto Walmart or Amazon, actually buy the item and that way the supplier will ship the item to your customer. But you actually have to place the order on the supplier's website. So what you can do is set up auto ordering with your software like AutoDS, and that will automatically, as soon as the order comes in on eBay, actually buy the item for you from Amazon, from Walmart, and then they'll take care of the rest and ship the item to the customer. It costs a little bit extra to do it, which is why for a lot of beginners, they don't start there quite yet. But if you want something that's fully automated, yeah, that's the way to go for it. And that's just in the settings on AutoDS to set that up. George is here. What's up, George? George says, it's amazing that after all these years, you and Nahar are just meeting now for the first time. Yeah, so yesterday I posted my video for the week, and it's a video all about the best products to dropship in February onto eBay and Facebook Marketplace. And I had help with that video because I actually filmed it with the owner and CEO of Zeke Analytics, Nahar. You've probably seen him on his YouTube channel, the Zeke Analytics YouTube channel. Him and I have been working together for like 5 or 6 years at this point. And when I say working together, I just mean we started dropshipping around the same time. We talked about dropshipping back then, kind of helped each other out. He built Zeke Analytics. I built up my own dropshipping stores and this YouTube channel. So we've always kind of collaborated on videos and content, and I gave him suggestions for Zeke Analytics. We've been doing that for years, and we finally got the chance to meet. I flew to Europe to hang out with him and see everyone who works at Zeke Analytics. We made some videos together, and it was incredible. You know, he's a really great, genuine guy. Everyone over there. I got to meet Rogerio too, who you see in a lot of the YouTube videos for Zeke Analytics. They're all great people, very genuine. They really care about the community and want to help other drop shippers as well. And it was just really awesome that I finally got to meet him after like 5 or 6 years. So really cool experience. Okay. Haley says, I took a week off of eBay. How long does it take to get sales back up? So you're pretty new, Haley, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. A lot of people take time off and then they come back and you just have to get the ball rolling again. The one thing I would recommend, I'm not sure how you took a week off, but But I would never put your store in vacation mode on eBay. They have that option, and it's notorious for just kind of screwing over sellers. What they do is they turn their store on vacation mode, and then when they come back from vacation, they turn off vacation mode. And so many people report that it takes them so long to get their sales back up to where it was before they turned on vacation mode. No one knows why that is. It's clearly something wrong with the way eBay set up vacation mode. What I recommend instead is, if you're going away, if you know you're not going to be able to fulfill orders, then increase your shipping and handling times by a lot, so that even if you get orders in, it doesn't, you can wait until you get back, then fulfill those orders. If you want to be super careful, raise your prices as well. That way it really deters people from buying from you. And then when you come back from vacation, just put everything back to normal, and sales should pretty much pick up where they left off. I think I missed the beginning of this message. No, Autofulfillment by AutoDS does not take care of customer service. So I talked about AutoDS before, and the Autofulfillment, that's going to automatically order the items for you, but you still have to do customer service, meaning customers on eBay are going to send you messages, you have to respond to them, or you have a virtual assistant do it. So depending on the way you want to do it, in the beginning, I had on my phone the eBay app, and I had notifications turned on, so that anytime a customer sent me a message, I could get it. And if I could respond to it right there, great. If not, I knew that later that day I'd be at my computer and be able to respond to it. Or if you want, just log in twice a day, morning and night, and respond to all the customer questions and concerns and things like that. But you have to stay on top of that. Especially stay on top of all of the cases, the item not received cases, the return cases. Those are things you should be logging in and looking for every single day, because if you don't respond to those in a timely manner and appropriately, then those can result in defects on your account that can actually hurt your eBay account. So don't let that happen. Make sure you're logging in and checking all of that. One thing I wanted to mention, because I didn't actually say this, so I was talking before about meeting Nahar, who is the owner of Zeke Analytics, and I forgot to mention what Zeke Analytics is. So Zeke Analytics is a product research software. It helps us do product research when we're looking to sell items on eBay. A lot of dropshippers use it, but even non-dropshippers use it as well. And I have a bunch of videos about how to use Zeke Analytics here on YouTube, and even more in-depth ones inside my eBay dropshipping course and my Facebook course for that matter. So George, when it comes to finding trending products for Zeke Analytics, using Zeke Analytics, check out some of those other videos, because I would have to screen share and show you, but I have a lot of videos on YouTube about how to do that. Because it will tell you when you plug in the information what the top selling products are right now in different categories. All right. So Haley says, I am doing auto fulfillment. I got my first 2 sales, but they haven't been delivered, and they were supposed to be delivered days ago. So what you want to do, Haley, is make sure that you do have auto ordering set up correctly. Make sure the items were actually ordered. You should be able to go into AutoDS and go to your orders, and it will tell you if the item was ordered and if you have an order number and a tracking number. If you don't have that, then either you didn't set up auto ordering correctly, or something went wrong and it didn't actually do it for you. So I would check that first, because if you didn't set it up, it's not going to work. You actually have to do it in the settings and add credits to your account. And if it doesn't work, then you want to fulfill those orders manually yourself. So that's the first thing I would look at. If it was ordered, then you want to look up those orders on the supplier's website, contact their customer support and say, hey, where are these items? They were supposed to be delivered already. Alex says, is it possible to be tax exempt on AutoDS? I believe it is, Alex. So again, on the topic of auto ordering, there's a couple of different ways to have AutoDS auto order for you. One of the ways is they just use their own accounts. So they have their own Walmart accounts, their own Amazon accounts. And I actually suggest you use that method because it's easier for beginners. You don't have to set up those accounts yourself. And they are able to space out the orders and order them in a particular way so that none of those accounts have any issues with them being shut down or anything like that. It's just a little bit of an easier, more streamlined process. But I believe there is still a way that you can set up your own accounts and attach those accounts to AutoDS. So that way, when there's any orders that come in, they'll actually order it with your accounts and not their own accounts. Excuse me. And when you use your own accounts, then you can set them up as being tax exempt. Okay. AK says, hey, Paul, I sell solely on Facebook shops. I've been waiting to create ads. Anytime I try to buy ads, I'm getting an error message. What could be the issue? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, AK. I use Facebook shops, but I never run ads using them. I have run ads on Facebook before, but never to any items in my shops. So, and I don't run ads at the moment on Facebook either. So I'm not sure why you're getting an error message. It obviously sounds like a bug of some kind on Facebook. So you might want to reach out to their support and ask them what's going on. Okay. Joshua says, I wanted to see if you have a baseline of what your profit margins should be set at on AutoDS if you are dropshipping on eBay and looking for the most optimal results. So, there's a lot of variance here because there's a lot of different factors. The first thing you have to determine is what your break even is. In other words, what you have to sell your items for so that you don't lose any money, but you don't make any money either. So that you have to establish first, and then you can add profit on top of that. So to establish your break even, you have to account for the price of the item, any sales tax you're going to pay your supplier, shipping that you might have to pay the supplier, eBay fees, and eBay fees will change based on what store subscription you have. So there's a lot of different variations in there. For the most part, you're looking at about 13% for a break even, but again, that can fluctuate. 13% if you're not tax exempt, and even more, about 19% if you are tax exempt. What did I say? 13% if you're not tax exempt, and about I'm saying it wrong. 13% if you are tax exempt, and about like 19% if you're not tax exempt. In other words, if you are paying taxes to your supplier. So that's a break even, and then you can add profit on top of that. So that's kind of where you're looking at. What do you think about this new store called Temu? Let me see. You guys always bring me new interesting stuff that I've never heard of. Let me see if I can find Temu. Temu kind of reminds me of AliExpress and stuff. Let's see. So, oh boy, it's doing this thing again. Okay. I don't know if you can see my screen. It's being all weird and telling me I have to do something with my computer, even though I've done it already. So this kind of just reminds me of like wish.com or something. Like these websites that are basically deals with limited time deals. It says like, this is 69 cents, 57,000 have sold. It's 82% off. And if you don't buy in the next, few minutes, it's going to be gone in next 10 hours. I don't like these websites because a lot of times these things are junk. and they're obviously going to charge you a lot more for shipping. That's how they make their money. Websites like Wish and things like that, I just don't like them. I'd rather have something with more consistency, right? You can list stuff for sale now, but it has to sell within the next 10 hours for you to actually get the deal. Yeah, if you're going to do something like this, I would just drop ship directly from AliExpress or Alibaba, honestly, because that's probably where they're getting these items from anyway. There's other websites like that, like Wish and things like that. But again, you want something with consistency. You want a website where that item's always going to be around and it's not going to go away like it might on that website. Alex says, I notice I only get sales through promoted listings. Do you have any suggestions on how I can get more organic sales? Yeah, so Alex, that's what we talked about before. That's probably happening because of the titles. If they're selling, then they're good items. But if they're not selling organically, then it's likely that you need better titles for your items. Better titles will have them ranked higher in the search results because it'll be full of the keywords that people are actually going to be searching for when they're looking for that item. More matches there, more matches with item specifics, more matches with the description, and they're going to rank higher in the search results organically. The other thing you can try, Alex, is try turning off promoted listings. If you turn them off and you actually see the same amount of sales or more, that's something that happens to people. It's just one of the weird things about promoted listings. So try that as well for maybe like a day or two. Etsy says, what is your favorite credit card for cash back? Okay, so my favorite credit cards for cash back, I know a lot of people love American Express credit cards. I get the draw of them. I'm not a huge fan of American Express ones. I think they're fine. They just tend to be very expensive. There's a yearly fee for them that tends to be high. Yes, they come with a lot of perks. But personally, I've never really been into the things like lounge access at airports, because really how often are you going to use things like that? Even things like travel rewards, I'm not always the biggest fan of, because I like to be able to shop around and find the best deals without limitation on which websites I can use to find those. So for me, it's all about the cashback. Like that's I think king. Cashback is king. So for those, I really like the Spark cards, the Capital One Spark cards. Capital One has a few different options for that. There's some that give you 2% cash back. That's like the preferred one, in my opinion. That's the one that I have. Really like it. 2% flat cash back on everything. That's awesome. So you don't have to worry about, okay, I only get 3% in grocery for 3 months, and then it's 3% in electronics. Some have those rotating categories. You never have to worry about that. It's always 2% all year long. There's another one that they have that's only 1.5%. Then they have a points one, a credit card point, a travel points one, if that's what you like. The other ones that I like are the Walmart one, which gives you 5% back, and the Amazon one I used to love, but you can't really use Amazon Prime anymore. So yeah, those are what I would say are the best ones. Those Capital One. Actually, let me take a look. They're always changing them. Let me see what they got going on now. Capital One Spark cards. All right. So we have, the 3 different cards here. This one on the left, the 2% cash back, is the one I was talking about. That's like the best one. And there's a new feature of this one that makes it even better, which is that there's no preset spending limit on it. I do have a spending limit on mine, which is high, so it's fine. But this new one doesn't come with any spending limit. You also get $1,000 in your first 6 months, plus $200 every year if you spend $200,000 or more. It's certainly possible with drop shipping. I don't think I get that 200 cash bonus every year on mine. Unlimited 2% cash back, unlimited 5% back on hotels and car rentals through Capital One Travel, and then an annual $150 fee. But again, you get $200 if you spend a lot of money. So it's not bad. But then we have this one, which is $0 a year, and you only get 1.5% cash back. Personally, for dropshippers, I would go for this one. They both require the same credit, even though it costs $150, and this one's $0. That extra 0.5% is gonna make a big difference, and you get an extra money sign up bonus. And then this one is 1.5%, but there's no sign up bonus, so that's why I don't prefer that one. So there you go. Should you have the same bank account for multiple eBay accounts or have one for each? You could use the same one, but then the accounts are going to be linked together. So as long as you don't care that eBay knows that you own all those accounts, then it's totally fine to do that. If you're trying to be stealthy and keep those accounts separate, then yeah, you want different bank accounts. But most people don't need to do that. That's way more complicated than is needed for most sellers. So I suggest for most sellers just have one eBay account. You don't really need multiple. It gets just too complicated. Have you tried Mercari? I have not. I've heard that they don't like dropshippers and they're very fast to kind of shut down dropshipping accounts. So yeah, I don't do it. I'm doing enough on different marketplaces. eBay and Facebook Marketplace are very strong, so I stick with that. It works. Papa says, I see people selling the same items I'm selling, but for a lot less money. How are they getting the products so cheaply? There's a few ways they're doing that. Either one, they're not drop shipping, they're wholesale sellers, or they're doing retail or online arbitrage and they bought them when they're on sale. So now they're able to sell it much cheaper. That's probably what's going on. Or it's also possible they're doing something very illegal, like using stolen credit cards or discounted gift cards that are sketchy. So I'd be careful even treading into those areas. Obviously, with the stolen credit card, it's something you don't want to mess around with at all. Just keep looking, though. There's plenty of other products to sell. Anthony says, do you need an LLC to get a wholesale supplier? Pretty much, yeah. So wholesale is, we've been talking a lot about retail drop shipping, drop shipping from Walmart, from Amazon, from Home Depot. But wholesale drop shipping is when you actually get in contact with a wholesale supplier and they fulfill the orders for you. They give you wholesale pricing, which again is going to be cheaper than retail pricing. And they're still going to ship the items out to your customers as the orders come in. They usually have a lot of products too that you can't get from retail stores. So in order to actually make that relationship with the wholesale suppliers, you usually do have to have a real business. You have to prove to them that you are, a reputable, good, real business. And if you're just a person, you're just saying, hey, my name's Anthony, I'm looking to do this. They're probably not going to take you seriously is what I'm trying to say. So an LLC definitely helps for that. Do item specifics on eBay matter that much? Yeah, definitely, Alex. They're really important. So item specifics on eBay, when you're listing items, it will come up and it'll say like, enter in this little box, this little field, the height of the item, the weight of it, the different dimensions, like the color of it, what it's made of. That's separate from the description. Those item specifics matter because eBay's always looking for a match between what the buyer's searching for and what you're selling. So the more of those you have, eBay rewards you for that. They're more likely to put your items higher in the search results, especially if it is something that the buyer is actually searching for. So they definitely matter. AutoDS will automatically populate a lot of those, and you can do even more of them to kind of increase those chances. Oh, then I can't help you. I can't help you there. There's no dollar amount. There's no profit dollar amount. But it's really when you get to a point where you're feeling like you're getting it you're understanding how dropshipping works. Your store is building up, but you want to scale up quicker. Definitely when you get to a point where you're overwhelmed and you're barely able to keep up with what you're doing, then it's kind of like you should definitely hire a VA right now. You waited too long. It's never too late, but you should have hired one earlier if you get to that point. The first job I would give a virtual assistant is product research and listing. That is the thing that's going to grow your store the fastest. So that's what I would do. And that's assuming that you're hiring them a bit earlier to help you grow. For myself, when I first hired one, I hired one too late. I made that mistake and I was overwhelmed. My store was too big for me alone. So when I hired my virtual assistants, the first thing I had them do was fulfill orders, because we did it all manually back then. So they were helping me fulfill orders so that I didn't have to do it all myself. And that saved up a lot of time for me. So when you find a good wholesaler, you don't want to reveal what the name of the wholesaler is, because that is one of the secrets that you want. Those are the cards you want to hold close to yourself, because if you reveal that, then you're kind of giving away like part of your trade secret. It takes a lot of time and relationship building to find a good wholesaler. So that is your competitive advantage when you figure that out. So you don't want to ever share that. Lorenzo says, over the past month, we've had 0 visitors to our store. What does this mean? Is this eBay or Facebook Marketplace? I mean, either way, it's hard for me to know without looking at your account. But, lots of things matter. Things like your account health, whether you've received defects on your account, complaints about your store, if you've failed to upload tracking numbers, those things matter. But also things like your titles, your descriptions, item specifics, and also what items you had listed. Like if you had all Christmas items listed, then of course, come the end of December, you're not really going to make any more sales until you start adding more products into your store that are going to sell all year long. So those are the kind of things that I would look at if I was analyzing your store. Saz says, what if I hire a virtual assistant and we're working on a percentage split and I need to pay them for them to buy and fulfill the products? Is there a safer way to do this? Of course, over time, the order amount is going to get larger. So is there a way I can directly buy the products myself and then let the VA continue their work after? So I'm a little bit confused on what you're doing or what you say you're doing with your virtual assistants. I would never do some sort of profit split with my virtual assistants. I pay them either a flat hourly rate or a flat salary, like the same amount every week or every month, no matter how much they work. The hourly rate I usually do for new virtual assistants or virtual assistants that I know I'm just going to hire for small projects or just certain times of the year. But the virtual assistants that I've had for a long time, I pay them the same amount every single week, because to me, it doesn't matter how much time they spend. It's if they're doing the work and getting it done. And I know they're getting it done based on the results. So I don't really look at percentage split. It just gets confusing and it just makes your life harder to kind of figure all that out. Ayub says, I bought an item on Walmart as a gift, but it's delivered to my customer with Walmart packaging. Any solutions? So there's actually not really any reliable way to order items from Walmart as a gift. So don't concern yourself with that at all. I know people say, hey, you can do it through gift registry. You don't have to worry about that, okay? When Walmart ships their items, most times, inside the box, there's no slip of paper that has the price. So the customer isn't going to get the price of the item that you paid for it. Yes, the outside of the box says Walmart, but who cares? Because what the customer will do is they get that package, they open it up, they see, oh, here's a water bottle that I ordered from eBay. Great. That's it. Right? My theory is that when they see Walmart on the box, they think, oh, I'm buying from someone on eBay. That eBay seller needs to get their boxes from somewhere. So what are they doing? They're going to Walmart, buying a bunch of boxes and using those to ship the items to their customers. And that's it. Or they're reusing boxes that they got when they order something from like Walmart. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. I wouldn't stress out about that at all. You want to sign into your Walmart account to do it. With a new eBay account, what are some things you would caution before setting up AutoDS and adding products? So you can set up AutoDS right away. I don't have any issue with that. But one thing I would caution you is you don't want to scale up too quickly. You want to spend some time priming your eBay account, getting it so that it looks like you're a real user, which you are. And you're not someone who just set up an account and is quickly going to rush in, list up a bunch of items just to scam customers. That is what eBay is afraid of. They want to avoid people like that. So spend some time priming your account, making it look like you're a real person, which you are again, and then slowly start adding products. Not a whole lot at first, just slowly, a little bit every single day. I have not found a software that auto orders for Facebook Marketplace. And the problem with that is that there's no API with Facebook Marketplace. So with eBay and Facebook Shops, you can connect software to it directly. With Facebook Marketplace, there's no way to do that. So I don't even know how auto ordering would work for Facebook Marketplace. Etsy says, have you heard of these buy now, pay later services? Basically, you only pay a certain amount of money today and then you pay it off later. Do you think this is useful for us drop shippers? So there's two ends to this, right? You can see this as a seller and as a buyer, right? When you sell an item on eBay, on Facebook Marketplace, your buyers might use this option where they buy now and pay later. That's not going to impact you at all. When someone chooses that, you're still going to get paid right away. So you don't have to worry about that. Where I think you're thinking about it is, okay, now you go to fulfill your orders, and when you're buying it from your supplier's website, the supplier's website says, hey, you can pay for this later. To be honest, I've never tried those. I'm always like skeptical about things like that because I don't like, excuse me. I don't like buying things on credit, really. I mean, I do put a lot through the credit card, but like that's something that I pay off every single week, my credit card. The buy now, pay later thing, I guess I see the benefit of it, right? Because let's think about this. eBay doesn't pay you right away. So you use that buy now, pay later option, and then you do get paid by eBay, and then you use it at that point to pay for the item you purchase. So yeah, it could work for people who are kind of strapped on cash and don't have a credit card. I much prefer if you use a credit card, because if with a credit card, you can get those points, right? If there's any problem with the order, you can always do a chargeback. So it kind of gives you more options. It builds credit as well. But yeah, I guess in situations where people don't have a credit card, that could be helpful as long as you don't actually have to pay more, right? As long as, let's say it's like a $300 product and they say, okay, in 1 month you pay $100, next month you pay $100, and next month you pay $100 or something like that. And that's it. Same amount of money. In that situation, yeah, that could work. But if they charge you interest on that, I wouldn't do it. No, we don't do van life anymore. Settle down in a house. Should we only choose products under Mainstays from Walmart? No, absolutely not. Any of the brands on Walmart are good as long as they're not Vero on eBay. Mainstays is just kind of like your gateway. It helps you find Walmart dropshippers on eBay. Giselle says, hey, Paul, what is the best way to do product research for Facebook Marketplace dropshipping? There's a few different ways you can do it. I teach like 5 different methods in my Facebook Marketplace course, but one of the simplest ways is just to see what's popular on eBay. If the items are popular on eBay, there's a really good chance they're also going to do well on Facebook Marketplace. And I have a ton of videos on YouTube that go over eBay dropshipping and they actually also go over Facebook Marketplace dropshipping. So I would check out a lot of those videos I have on Facebook Marketplace dropshipping and product research for it, because that's going to point you in the right direction for that. Lasidro says, any idea why my Facebook shop is not getting any visitor views and sales? Make sure it's actually turned on. Make sure you've made it visible. I've seen many people make that mistake, and then obviously no one can see it. What can we do as new sellers to prevent getting suspended? That's what I was talking about before with priming your account and going slowly. If you go too quickly, that's usually how your account gets suspended. And what will happen is that they will ask for some verification from you, some information to verify that you are who you say you are. And then you can get your account back, but it just takes time and it's a pain. Okay, Lifted says, would you recommend eBay or Facebook for beginners? They're both... Sorry, I was sick a couple weeks ago. I thought I was better, but I was traveling yesterday, so I don't know what's going on. What was that question again? Oh, eBay or Facebook Marketplace for beginners. They're both really solid places to start as beginners. Best case scenario, you do both. I mean, they're both fantastic places to start and grow your dropshipping stores. And, you can jump on both, see which one works for you, and then go all in with that one, or hopefully they'll both do well for you, and then you can have them both grow at the same time. I think Facebook Marketplace is a really strong place for beginners right now, a really good place to start, just because of the volume of sales that we're getting there and that so many beginners are seeing pretty quickly with it. Hey, what's up, guys? Lorenzo says, my VA is not doing product research. Yeah, so then she can't just list random products. She actually has to do product research and add those products. You just use their service. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, I use AutoDS is connected to my eBay accounts and my Facebook accounts. So I'm not sure what you mean by run AutoDS or just use their service. Not sure what you mean by that. I don't own AutoDS, if that's what you mean. I've never used boost listings on Facebook Marketplace. I haven't seen the need to do it because the organic traffic on Facebook Marketplace has been more than enough. But if that ever changes, then I'll definitely try boost. But I'm not going to spend and waste money where it's not needed. So the rule on eBay against dropshipping has been a rule that's been around for years now. And what we've seen is that as long as you are actually a good seller, you're uploading tracking numbers, getting customers or orders when you say you will, providing good customer service, responding to your cases, and spending that time in the beginning actually priming your account, then we've seen that this isn't an issue for most people and that people aren't getting suspended specifically for dropshipping. If it's something you're really concerned about, then you can do wholesale drop shipping, which is allowed on eBay 100%. It says it in the rules. Please smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for the reminder. Yes. If you have if you have a new eBay account, if you and your brother have an eBay account, everything's different, but the address, they'll still be linked together. You won't know if an account's linked. I don't know of a way of figuring it out, but the risk there is if something happens to one account, if it happens, then the other account can be impacted as well. Like if one account gets suspended, the other one might get suspended as well. Lorenzo says, are you going to start your Amazon course back up? If not, give me a discount. I really want the knowledge, even if you're not doing it anymore. Or are you doing it? No, I'm not drop shipping on Amazon at the moment. I'm doing Amazon FBA, where I'm sending products to Amazon up front and then they sell instead of drop shipping, which is kind of like the reverse. That's why my Amazon course is closed. If you really want it and you want to kind of get that information, I think the information's still good. I just haven't done it myself in about a year or so. Send me an email, paul@pauljlipsky.com, and if you really want it, I'll get you access to it. We'll figure out something out, or DM me on Instagram. Nibaman says, is it a good idea to start drop shipping when I just know the basics, or should I try to learn more about it before I start? Get started, man. The fastest way to learn is by actually doing. If you spend all your time trying to figure it out and master it before you even start doing it, you're never going to get started. It's a mistake I've made so much. You learn the fastest by actually taking action. Okay, so go for it. Okay, everyone. So I know there's a bunch more questions. Sorry I didn't get to all of them. Oh, what's up, Rakin? Yeah, we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Tell all your friends, Steve. No, kidding. Yeah, so I know we got a bunch more questions, but I'm going to end it there today because I just keep losing my voice. I don't know what's wrong with it. Still a little sick. Appreciate everyone coming out, asking questions. If you got any value out of this, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel because like Steve said, we are on the road to 100,000, be happening any month now. So appreciate all your support on that. And I'll see you guys next week for the next Q&A.